Yes, it says that there's going to be many blessings, as it says in the book of Parashat Bechukotai, and also in Parashat Kitavo. There's many, many blessings that mankind gets for serving Hashem. But he says, don't be one of those people that only serves Hashem because you're going to get an award. Be one of these people that serves Him not for the sake of the award. Now this is a very, very high level of serving Hashem. So why does he... And then after that he says, nonetheless, fear Hashem, which is a lower level. So here, first of all, he's telling you, you should really, ideally, you should serve Hashem like Avraham Avinu, like Yitzchak Avinu, like Yaakov Avinu, like Moshe Rabbeinu, like Aaron HaKohen, like David HaMelech, like these great, extraordinary forefathers that we have, these perfect human beings who wanted nothing other than to connect to Hashem. He says, serve Him like that. Job, the prophet Job says, even if I knew that Hashem was going to kill me and destroy me, I'd still serve Him. I'd still serve Him. Gemara, Masechet, I believe it's Masechet Sotah, or it may be Bitzah, but in the Gemara it says, there's a machloket. Did Job serve Hashem purely out of fear or purely out of love? If it was fear, it was the highest level of fear. If it was love, it was also a high level of love. Why a highest level of fear? Because the highest level of fear of Hashem is fear of a disconnect, not fear of a punishment. Fear of punishment is the lowest level of serving Hashem. You do the mitzvot, you fulfill the commandments. Why? Because you don't want to get punished. You don't want to lose money. You don't want to get divorced, chas v'shalom. You don't want to lose any children. You don't want to go to Gehenom. You don't want all these bad things that we talk about from time to time. You don't want all those bad things to happen to you, so that's why you do it. That's the lowest level of serving Hashem. It's still good, it's respectable, especially for this generation, but nonetheless, it's the lowest level. The highest level of fear of Hashem is fear of Hashem like a good relationship. Meaning, if a husband and a wife have a healthy relationship, then the husband and the wife are not going to yell at each other and hate each other and do things like that. They're going to communicate. Now the reason why, even if the wife makes the husband upset or vice versa, they're not going to act in a way where, for example, if let's say the wife is not going to talk to the husband in a certain way, or the husband is not going to talk to the wife in a certain way, not because they're scared that the other one's going to hit them. If you're scared that the other one's going to hit them, then it's not a healthy relationship. We're talking about a healthy relationship. The reason why they're not going to insult the other person is because they're scared that this insult is going to lead to a disconnect. Where if I insult my wife, then she's not going to talk to me. And her not talking to me is unbearable to me. I can't deal with it. My whole day goes to nothing. So I can't do it, so then I'm not going to insult her. The husband is not going to insult the wife because of that. The wife is not going to insult the husband because of that. So that's not a fear of punishment per se that's physical, like the lowest level of serving Hashem, but rather a fear of a disconnect, of hurting the relationship. So that's the highest level of fear of Hashem as well, where Avraham Avinu was willing to sacrifice his son, not because he was expecting some award from Hashem. Hey, listen, you're a tzaddik. You are Avraham Avinu. Your descendants are going to be like the stars of the heaven, and the numerous like the sand, and so on and so forth. No, he didn't expect any of that. He was willing to sacrifice his son because that was what Hashem requested, or what he understood that Hashem requested, and he wanted to do everything he possibly can to be connected to Hashem. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter if there was a sacrifice. It didn't matter if it was hard. It didn't matter if it made sense. It didn't matter if it didn't make sense. Nothing mattered. He loved Hashem to such an extent that he wanted to make sure that he would do everything to not hurt that relationship, not hurt that connection. Alvay aleinu. But the point here is that he's telling you, if you're serving Hashem, serve Him like Avraham Avinu, where you're not just serving Him for a award of some kind. You're serving Him without any award. That's the highest level. Where even, like Job said, even if you were to kill you, you'd still do it. Why? Because that's the highest level. That's the ideal level. What is this like? If a father has two sons, again, and one of them really, really loves the father, and every time the father even hints that he wants something, the kid immediately goes and gets it. The father wants a coffee, he runs and he gets him a coffee. The father wants somebody to go get milk, he runs and he gets milk. The father wants a book or paper or this or that, he runs and he does everything right away. The other son doesn't really like his father that much, so he doesn't run anywhere. So the father says, listen, it's upsetting that I don't see him. I ask him for coffee, he doesn't do it. He says, okay, you know what? Okay, takes out his wallet, he goes, okay, if you go get me coffee, I'll pay you $5. Oh, for $5? Sure. He runs to the place, gets him coffee. Thank you, I love you, Abba. He doesn't really love Abba. He loves the $5. Abba wants paper, Abba wants this, Abba wants that. Every time it's for a payment. So now when the father is going to do his review one day, he's going to think about, who do I really want to give my inheritance to? The one that milked me for money every single time I asked him for something. Every coffee cost me $5. Every ride cost me $20. Everything had a payment. Or the one that did it just because I asked him to. Just because he loved me. Who am I going to give my inheritance to? Well, the one I paid him all this reward. Okay, I love him. He's great. He's fine. He's my son. At least he did it. He's not a terrible son where he didn't do it even after I paid him. But the one that did it just because, obviously, I want to give him more. So, Antigonos is telling you, if you're already going to do it at the highest possible level. Shoot to be like Avraham Avinu. Shoot to be like Moshe Rabbeinu. Shoot to be like Noach. Noach, ish tzaddik v'tamim. Complete with Hashem. The greatest of his generation. Go for the best. Just like you go to work. You don't go to work because, I want to make a basic living and be half homeless my whole life. No. You go to work to be a multimillionaire. The next idea is going to be Microsoft. The next idea is going to be Google. That's what you think. Everybody thinks that. Everybody thinks their next idea is the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's why they go to work. Napoleon used to say, I want all my soldiers to want to be commanders. Any soldier who doesn't want to be a commander, I don't want him to be my soldier. Because if he doesn't want to be a commander, then he's definitely not going to be a good soldier either. You have an opportunity to be the greatest of great. So Antigonos is telling you, I learned from my Rav, Shimon HaTzadik, the greatest of his generation. The one that was around prophets at all times. The one that made Alexander the Great bow to him. Alexander the Great, the guy that conquered the whole world, bowed to him on all four. I learned from him something amazing. He's telling you, if you're going to serve Hashem, go for the whole pie. And serve Him out of complete love. Not just because you're going to get an award. Do it just because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do to work on your midot. It's the right thing to do to not be angry. and work on yourself to realize that there's really never a reason to be angry. Ever. The only reason you're angry is because you have gava, you have pride. You think that the world needs to run according to your tune. And if it doesn't run according to your tune, you're angry. That's why the Gemara calls that idol worship. You've made yourself avodah zarah. You think that the world should run according to your tune. And if you think that the world needs to run according to your tune, you're a mini god. You have a problem. There's no share of the world to come to somebody as a mini god. So someone that knows this says, okay, it's dangerous to have anger. I have to work on myself. I have to work on not being angry. Why am I angry? Why do I get upset every time the baby cries? Why do I get upset every time my wife wakes me up in the middle of the night with a question? Why do I get upset? Because this and this happened. All these different things that happen to your life, everybody has their, little things, pet peeves that annoy them. Why does it annoy you? Why does it make you so angry? I mean, it's mind-boggling sometimes how big things don't matter, but small things make you want to destroy the world like Hashem did with the time of Noach. I tell you personally, before Torah, if I was God, I would destroy the world every day. Every day I would get upset at these small things. And I would literally want to just destroy the world. Like, wow, this guy came late. Sir, you just made $1 million today. I don't care, but one of my employees came in 6 minutes late. What do you care that he came in 6 minutes late? My whole world changed because the guy came in 6 minutes late. You made money, you did this. It doesn't make a difference. But that's the thing. When you have no real purpose in life, you make small, stupid things your purpose. So, someone that wants to serve Hashem and get to the highest level has to know there's obviously a track of how to get there. You have to work on these midot. You have to work on your character traits, which is the reason why we're doing this whole series to begin with. But he's already telling you from the beginning, listen, the Torah is not of the mindset that you're not able to do something. The Torah will never tell you that you cannot be the most righteous person of your generation. The Torah will never tell you that you're not able to be a Talmid Chacham. The Torah will never tell you that you cannot do anything that will get you the greatest Olam Haba ever. Torah is the opposite. He's starting the Mishnah, the first 3 Mishnayot. It's not like somewhere in the middle, maybe it's less important. Chas v'shalom, but the point, you get my point here. They're opening the Mishnah with this lesson, they're telling you, listen, if you're going to already service God, be like Avraham Avinu already. Be like Noach. Be like Moshe. Go for everything. Why are you settling for just one little diamond? Okay, so you do tefillin really good. Chazak u'baruch. Do the prayer too, not just the tefillin. Why just the prayer? Act accordingly. Be a walking Sefer Torah. Learn some Torah also. Why just learn Torah? Fulfill it too. Do what it says in the Torah. Why just fulfill the Torah when you're in private? Do it in public. Show people why it's a great thing to be a Jew. Why you're proud to be a Jew. Why you want to die to be a Jew. Go for the whole thing.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.